In this video, we will go over the integral test. And so with the integral test, there are some conditions that must be met. First, for a sub n, it must be positive, continuous, and decreasing. But it doesn't need to be positive and decreasing everywhere. Eventually, the function has to be positive and decreasing. And so what you can kind of think is like, maybe from 0 to 5, it is actually, increasing. But from 5 to infinity, it decreases. And that would be, acceptable. So like a finite number of terms won't change whether, a series converge or does not. FYI, decreasing, you can kind of think about it as denominator gets larger and larger while the numerator remains the same. That would be an example. Continuous could be like, no discontinuity, you can't divide by 0. Also, if the function is like difficult to integrate, then there's really no point in using the integral test. And so kind of in written form, if the integral 1 to infinity f of x d of x converges, then the series will also converge. Likewise, if this diverges, then the series will diverge. So we will solve this problem. If you want, you can pause the video here and attempt this problem. The first thing we need to look is to see whether it's decreasing. So the first few terms, if this is a 1, you get 3, 2, you get 3/2, 3, you get 1, and so on. So you can clearly see that it is in fact decreasing. Next you can say, are the value above the x-axis, or is it like positive? Here you can see all these terms are in fact positive. Next you can say, is there any discontinuity? Is it continuous? We're not dividing by 0, and so it is in fact continuous. Lastly, can we easily integrate it? And yes, we can. So first, I would take the integral 1 to infinity of 3 over x dx. Then I can say that limit of t approaches infinity, 1 to t, for 3x dx. We would get limit of t approaches infinity for 3 ln, absolute value of x. And the values we're going to plug in is 1 and t. If you're not really familiar with taking integrals, I think that would be your first step. So if you don't really see how we go from this to this, I would definitely recommend watching a tutorial video on integrals. And lastly, we just plug in the values. So 3 ln t minus 3 ln 1. And this would be like, infinity minus like 0. And so we would get infinity. And so integral diverges, and so the series will also diverge by the integral test.